got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when it takes control.
How would I describe my play style? I would say it's a mixture of a lot of things.
I'm a walking lick.
Jacobs gets away, they can't bring him down.
Paparazzi taking pics. Something you don't want to miss.
I kind of try to play mind games with defenders. I might run you over. I might juke you. I might try to outrun you. I'm going to bring that dog. I'm going to bring that intensity. I'm going to play with the physicality. I'm going to come work every single day.
Well, I drive in reverse. Yeah.
I give it all that I have when I'm on that field. And I think I'll just bring that tone setter. I think that's what I'm going to be for the team. Walking out for the first time, something that I definitely think about a lot. Be able to see what it feels like to be a Packer, to see the type of support that we have.
Something you don't want to miss.
In the iconic stadium, to be out there, you know, try to go get a win. It's very excited, man. I'm very excited for this year. I think it's going to be a good one.
Let's roll. It is a lovely day here. We talked about all the talent at wide receiver. We found even more. It's Jordan Nelson spending some time with us along with his son, Royal. Thanks for spending time with us, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
No problem. It's good to see you guys.
He couldn't wait to get on.
Yeah, right. Retired guy's dream is to come back and do media.
So, like, I'm looking over, I'm seeing who's here in the family section, and it's like Hall of Fame, Packers Hall of Famer Jordy Nelson. How many? So you were 10 seasons here, right?
Yes.
Super Bowl champion. And your son's only 14. He's probably going to be a hooper.
Yes.
We like that. What's it like coming back here?
It's fun to always come back. We try to make it back every summer and spend a couple days here at camp, see some of our old neighbors and friends and his old classmates that he had when he went to school here. So, and the kids enjoy it. He was old enough, he was here for 8 years, I think. So he remembers a lot of it. My second child, he somewhat remembers some. I think he was like 4 when we left, and then my daughter was like a year. So it's good to bring them back and remind them how cool Dad was back in the day.
Even though he wears a Randall Cobb shirt, that's okay. You love Dad, though, right?
How cool is Dad now that he's not playing football?
I think the same. I don't know if there's really a difference, but I always loved when he played football.
That's
more
great.
than now.
So you won a Super Bowl here, obviously. Aaron Rodgers was your quarterback. What do you think of Jordan Love?
I like it a lot. I think this whole young crew is going to be interesting to see what they developed from last year. I think last year you could see the growth throughout the season. I think all the numbers spoke for themselves for what Jordan did the second half of the season and everything they've shown. And I think the biggest thing, and we talked a little bit about it, is the consistency week in and week out. When I was getting late in my career, is talking to the young guys, like everyone can have a splash game, everyone can have a couple games, but if you can do it now 17 games and into the playoffs year after year, game after game, when teams start really trying to dial in on you, that's when you elevate yourself. So I'm excited to see what they'll do. The core obviously has been together now for a while, and they start forming that chemistry that Aaron and Donald and Greg and James and myself and Randall and Devontae had, year after year after year, that you can progress so much. It's one thing to know the playbook and the route, but then when you move on to the second and third things about that same route, and how much more it can develop over years. It's fun to watch in that development.
So we were talking about that young group of receivers, all the first and second year guys last year, and talked about how important the quarterback's role is in the development of that. You were a young guy once. Yeah. But in terms of a receiver developing, how important is the quarterback and the work with the quarterback? People just think that receivers do it on their own. How important? What we're seeing right now going on with these guys is pretty special.
Right. In practice, I think is one thing, but I put more emphasis in the meeting room. I think so much when I was really young, listening to Greg and Donald talk to Aaron and their communications, and their we would watch practice film after practice right away, and their communications in that film room of what they're seeing, because you only get like one time out here. Like you might not get that same look for that, but you have to be able to communicate that. And the quicker they can be on the same page and see it the same way, I think that's what helped me so much. Is I never would say I thought the way Aaron thought, but we were on the same page. Like we could start seeing things the same way. And once they can get to that level, that you have either that nonverbal communication or you just the expectations that you're both going to do the same thing at the same time. It takes time to get there. It's a year after year progression, but you spend so much more time in meeting rooms, either before practice and then post practice, that will do so much more to you than. I mean, they're limited with reps out here, and even more so now than what it was. Even before I played, there was even more than that. But so much of that verbal communication in the meeting rooms that then when you come out here, you know what each other are thinking before it all happens.
That's great.
Well, we know you're at least Royal's thinking that's still pretty cool. It was confirmed that you're still
That's
cool.
really cool.
We appreciate you allowing us to drag you over here while you guys are watching practice. Thanks for spending time with us, Jordy.
I appreciate the stuff you guys do. It's fun to watch, especially during training camp as you guys go around and cover all the teams and see what's going to happen.
You guys,
no more reruns for you.
One of my favorite receivers to ever play in the National Football League and cover. You are a dream. Thank you for stopping.
I appreciate it. You guys have a good training camp.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jordy.
Jordy Nelson.
Animal that describes my play style.
I'll try to think about that one.
It's a fast, physical animal out there. Maybe like a lion or a tiger or something like that. They fast, physical, big, good agility and all that.
I'd just say like a dog, like a pit bull or something, like just trying to go get something, you feel me?
And it would be a wolf. Back a wolf into a corner, you know, he's gonna do whatever it takes to get out that corner.
I'll say this one's corny, I'll say a badger.
My defensive coordinator used to call me Badger, was my nickname for a couple of years.
I feel like I'm fast, I feel like I'm quick, maybe like a cheetah, maybe a deer. That's a little funny to say, but maybe a deer, you know, they quick, they're sudden.
It's hard. I mean, O-linemen, you think of O-linemen, you think of like big, like animals like bears or something. They can't be athletic, like kind of like a bear. I mean, I'm agile, I can move pretty well.
I'm gonna say a polar bear. They're smart, fast, and strong.
I ran hard, I ran tough, and it take more than one person to bring me down, so I'm probably gonna say a gorilla.
I think the animal that best represents my play style is a silverback gorilla. You know, I'm in the trenches. What's the name of that animal on Looney Tunes? Him, yeah. He's standing on business on everything.
Pretty strong finish to practice for you. How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, I feel good, man. I had, to make up for a drop earlier in practice. That I took my eyes off. So, just keeping my composure and going out in a 2-minute drill, the competition, and having that mindset to go out and make a big play, to come back for that.
Does it? Jordan going to you at those key moments, that's got to feel good. I mean, it's not the first time, obviously, but the quarterback's willingness to go your direction at a key time at crunch time.
Yeah, man. It's something we working on. When coaches call the plays for you, the quarterback trusts you. It's just building trust and chemistry. And that's what happened when, the chemistry built.
For you, what's the key to red zone success? Because, man, there's a lot of bodies. It's a compressed area, and you have a knack for making that play. I mean, what's the key to doing that?
Just being sharp on routes, sharp on releases, and creating as much separation as you can, and staying away from the other guys, reading the defense, staying away from other guys, that can affect the play.
I'm
Clemens told us this offseason that's a big area for you where you kind of keep your head up when you scramble. Is that a good example of how you've kind of learned to still look downfield when the pocket collapses?
Definitely. I think that is definitely a goal of mine to keep working the scramble drill when I get outside the pocket. Just keep trying to find those big plays down the field. And I think just for everybody, too, the receivers, tight ends, to just keep working the scramble drill when it goes off schedule, finding the space they can work. But especially in practice, like I don't want to just take off and run. I want to try and work the scramble drill and get a good feel for everybody and how we're going to run in the game. So definitely something to keep working on.
Did you for sure avoid, I think it was Rashawn on the scramble in the 2 minute longer one?
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely.
What will he say?
Definitely. I don't know, but I don't really care what he says. I got out of there. I got out of there.
I think it's the 2 minute touchdown to Wicks.
Oh yeah. So touchdown to Wicks. We were running a concept, and it was actually a concept we just put in a couple days ago, and I believe we messed it up. But Wicks was able to break away in the back end line right there and kind of break free from the defender, and it was kind of wide open. Just put it out there for him. But he ran a great route, and like I said, it's something that we just put in the other day, and we didn't really run it up to par right there.
The 2-point play looked like it was all arm strength.
Yeah, the 2-point play, another play that was like our 2-point staple, and was kind of looking backside, got back to front side, and it looked like everybody was gloved, and then I saw Wicks kind of last second. I was about to start scrambling and just tried to get it out there before the backside was able to get there. But another good route by him, way to just stay open in the back of the end zone and make a play.
Have you caught up to the speed yet? How many practices do you have? Like 4 or so? Have you caught up?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely getting back in that rhythm. The speed. I feel like training camp, the speed is always so much faster. I feel like everybody's got that energy and they're flying around, especially to start. So definitely, some I'm just getting back to playing fast and trying to keep myself slowed down in the midst of all of it, and try and not get sped up myself with my feet and my reads, which I think is something I try and focus on right now.
A year ago, you came in, you were a first-year starter, you had all these different wide receivers, you had perfect tight ends. What's the difference now when you step out there?
Yeah, I think we got a lot more confidence as a group. Just having been through it, having a year under a lot of our belts, being out there on the field, we have a lot more chemistry together. But obviously, I think we're still working through a lot of things as an offense, building that chemistry, just understanding where we need to be on plays, the timing of plays, things like that, what we like for certain coverages. So I think it's definitely still a work in progress. But compared to last year, I think there's a lot less question marks. Guys understand where we need to be a lot better, and we have a better feel for the offense. But something we got to keep building on every day.
Jordan, I don't know if you heard yesterday, but Josh said his top 2 receivers in the league were Devontae Adams and Romeo Doubs. How do you feel about that?
I mean, hey, Romeo is definitely one of the best. So I love that Josh putting respect on his name, because Romeo, I mean, he's definitely one of those guys. And I think this year he's going to have a breakout year and really make a huge name for himself. But got a lot of love for Tay as well, so no shock about that one.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
On Monday, Steno was really complimentary too of Romeo and just the routes. He's been running so far in camp. Can you get a feel for that out there, just kind of where he's at right now?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Romeo is. I think he's playing great. He's playing very fast. It's just the way he attacks the field. His mindset. He runs every route like he's the #1 receiver. Whether he's the first read, the last read, like you can just tell in his mindset that he wants the ball, and he runs the routes like that. And he's playing very fast right now. He's getting in and out of his breaks, and obviously his hands, we all know how great his hands are. So, I love the way Romeo's playing, and I told him the other day I got to keep doing a good job trying to get him the ball, and because he's playing very, very well right now, and I'm loving what I'm seeing.
He would never say anything about it. Oh, go ahead.
You did a couple deep shots already.
Couple what?
Deep shots, deep balls. Remember last year in camp, you were missing a lot of those. What do you think? What's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all comes down to that chemistry. I have a better feel where guys are going to be at, where I need to put the ball on some of those deep balls, what the leverage might be at the DB, and just playing with confidence, putting it out there for them to go make plays and go catch, and understanding the speeds of some of our guys out there. So I'm just putting it out there as far as I can, letting them go out there and make a play, and trying not to underthrow them.
Back to Rome for a second. He would never say anything about it because that's just how he is. What do those 2 playoff games mean to him and to maybe the offense, the way he dominated those?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just showcasing all the work that he puts in behind the scenes. I think Rome is, he's one of the biggest workers I've ever seen. After practice, you always see him on the jugs. He's putting in extra work. He's always in the meeting room, locked in. And that's just accumulation of all the work he's doing behind the scenes, and now he's able to show that. So, I think where he left off last year with those 2 playoff games, I think he's just going to keep elevating himself this year.
What do you think your timing is with him at this point, and how has that grown over the years?
What was that, the timing?
Yeah, with Romeo.
Yeah, I think I have a really good feel for Rome and where he's going to be at on his routes. Rome's a guy that, I probably worked the most with in the offseason, being that we're both out there in California, very close to each other. So we have a great feel for each other, and, it's easy when the way he's running these routes and creating space and getting open, he makes it really easy for a quarterback.
What about a guy like Christian? He's had his injury issues, obviously, over the years. How important is it for him to stay healthy and to build this chemistry during training camp?
Very healthy. I think that's for everybody. You want to be able to be out there, be available, and just so we can build that chemistry, get a good feel. But I think Christian's a guy that's playing really well as well. I've hit him on a couple of deep balls where I think that's his bread and butter. He's so fast, he can just get by the defense, and is that really that deep threat? So obviously, we're getting back in that groove, and I think the biggest thing is just that consistency we all got to keep building upon.
Jordan, does this defense do a lot of disguising or not as much?
No, they do. I think the defense has done a great job of mixing up looks. They never really give you the same 2 looks back to back. They do a great job of mixing it up. The safeties are always moving, and they make stuff all look the same. With their pressures, with their disguise, they'll show pressure, drop out. So it's really a mind game for the quarterback trying to tell what they're in. And I think right now they're doing a great job being able to pass stuff off and kind of understanding where they need to be in the zones and the man, and communicating well with each other. And whereas, like I said, OTAs, you could tell it was fresh for them. They're still learning that stuff, and now they're dialed into everything they need to be doing. And there's not a lot of wide open guys, I would say, in this defense. So they're playing really well. And like I said, I think Hafley's doing a good job with disguising and then communicating how they want it to look, things like that.
Who's the coolest person that's reached out to you over the last couple of days since you signed?
The coolest?
You're not allowed to say your fiance.
The coolest? Oh, I don't know. I got a lot of texts. My phone was definitely blowing up. Peyton Manning reached out to me, but Peyton, I've had a couple conversations with Peyton. But a couple other guys from around the league. CJ reached out. Deshaun Watson reached out. So those are some of the guys I'm pretty close with. But my phone was definitely blowing up. A lot of friends, a lot of family hit me up. So I definitely felt the love and support.
Any numbers that you didn't have, like you didn't recognize?
Oh, a lot of numbers. A lot of numbers I don't have. So.
And did you end up finding out who they were? Or?
No, my phone was on Do Not Disturb. So I couldn't really. We're in training camp. There's not a lot of. You only have like an hour on your phone most of the day. So not a lot of time to be able to respond to everybody right now. So it's tough.
I apologize if you've been asked this, but did you look into Rogers' old house? He made a joke that it was still on the market.
No, I haven't. I don't think it's actually on the market. It's probably a private market house, but I haven't looked into it, so I'm not going to take him up on his offer. I appreciate it, but I won't be buying his house.
Jordan, I know you got a couple of collisions against Ja today, but obviously he's so good, and you're trying to go through your reads and find the open guy. But do you have to force yourself to go over there sometimes, whether it's for you or the receiver going against him, or?
No, I don't think you have to force yourself. I think we all love to compete. We all love trying to go against the best. Ja is one of the best corners in the league, if not the best. And every day we do different drills like one-on-one, things like that. So you get to be able to go out there and compete. But play-wise, it's so play-dependent on trying to read it out what the defense might be providing that it's not like I'm just trying to go pick that one-on-one matchup all the time. So when it comes up, it comes up. But I like just read the plays out and try not predetermine things like that. But yeah, Ja is, he's the man, so it's always a very competitive rep when we're throwing that way.
Jordan, what have you seen from Rashid? You guys drafted college left tackle in the first round, and he can either respond one of two ways to that. What have you seen from him kind of coming into camp?
I think Sheed's been doing good. I think Sheed has kind of solidified himself over there and continuing to make a name for himself. And he stepped up big time last year. I think with the whole box situation last year, he was kind of thrown into a role where it's that next man up mentality, and I think he did a really good job. So I think for Sheed, it's just the same thing we talked about, building on what he did last year and trying to be as consistent as possible. But I think Sheed's a very talented player, and he shows crazy flashes all the time, but just that consistency we got to keep building upon. But I don't think Sheed's ever worried about that. I think his mindset is, he's a dog and he's trying to go out there and just prove himself every day. And I don't think he lets any of that phase him.
Jordan, back on the defense for a second with Xavier back there. What's the challenge, with what he presents, as far as a look and kind of the way he, roams in that area?
Yeah, no, I think X is a vet safety. He's played a lot of games in the league, so I think the more he keeps learning this defense, that he's giving us great looks. Like he's the guy, running the show back there, disguising all these looks, and he got me today on a pick, but he's roaming back there. He kind of knows where he needs to be. He knows how to kind of hide from the quarterback and disguise stuff, and that's another great DB that we got. That that's good on good competition that I love, because I'm going against some real guys out there who might be the best DBs that we're going to see all season. So, it's always good to be good on good, but X is doing a phenomenal job, and he's a playmaker. He's always around the ball. He's always hunting that ball. So, excited to see what we can do this year.
You see from Grant this year, I know you're pretty excited. Grant DuBose, you're pretty excited about the one, obviously, earlier today.
Yeah, no, Grant, he's been playing really well throughout the first day of camp. Grant missed a lot of time last year in camp, and didn't really have his shot. So it's really cool to be able to see him go out there and ball. But you saw the one today. He's making some plays, contested catches. He's coming down with, and he's playing really fast right now. He's got a great feel for the offense, and it's just good to be able to see him out there. But we got a really deep receiver room right now, and I love to see the competition. But guys are rising and making plays. So excited to see what he can keep doing as we get into preseason and going forward.
Marshawn just returned from his injury. How has your connection grown in the past couple of days?
Yeah, I think it's something that we're going to keep building on. I haven't been able to get too many reps yet with him, with obviously with Josh and AJ in the rotation, and him coming off the injury. We'll see if we can get some more reps with him. But I think he's a very talented player. But we'll see what he can do, and if he can keep getting in that lineup, keep getting as many reps as he can. But it's obviously good to have him back out there.
Who comes up with the handshakes?
The handshakes?
Yeah.
Running back handshakes?
Yes.
It's everybody, we just go out there, whatever feels good, make them up on the spot, make them in the locker room, and go out there. Sometimes we have some bad ones that we don't really like, so we'll come and change it. But I think it's fun, Quarterbacks, we get that little time with the running backs to just, have fun out there. Pre-practice kind of gets us going, gets us energized for the day, and I think it's just a little fun little tradition we do.
Do you have to go watch the film on those numbers?
What was that?
You have to go watch the film on those?
Yeah, we definitely got to watch the film later on Twitter, break it down.
You workshop some at family night on Saturday night.
What was that?
Go workshop some of the handshakes on family night.
Yeah, we need to get more handshakes, probably with the receivers, some O-line handshakes. So we'll get some more.
A couple more for Jordan.
Sean had some tough days when we were watching, and it looks like yesterday, especially, and then today too, he's made some strides. He was talking about how maybe he needed to hit a mental reset button because he was getting down on himself. What have you seen from him, and how much does that time help him, both help you when you're preparing, and if worse comes to worse, then he has to play? How much more prepared can he get?
Yeah, I think, I've been in that position, being a backup. Now you're playing with the ones. You don't really have chemistry as much. Haven't been getting reps with those guys, so it's a different ball game. It's a different speed. You're playing with the one defense now, who they do a great job. It's a little bit different than the two. So, I think for him, as many reps as he can get is going to be beneficial for him in the long run. It's just going to make him a better player. Obviously, it was early on in camp. Defense was doing a good job. Offense as a whole, we just weren't really rallying and playing well for him. Obviously I think he'll say that he wasn't having his best days, but it's all learning. It's all great stuff to learn from. We always say that as many mistakes you make, those are the best learners. So I've been in that position. It's definitely not easy, but I think he'll say that you've seen it. He's been playing a lot better these past couple of days, and I think that's what it is. You got to reset that mental. It's never easy. It's never going to be perfect, but you just got to continue to have confidence in yourself and come out here and know that you're going to get better, and just take it day by day. Never get too down. And I think he's done a good job of that. And just the way he's bounced back these past couple of days, he's made some really good plays out there, and I think he's playing a lot faster. And just it's all about the confidence, So I'm definitely proud of him, but I think in the long run, this is going to all make him so much better. I know for me, it definitely helped me so much in my game, going against the one defense, being with the one offense. It's a different feel, different game. So I think all those reps are going to help him.
Hey everybody, it's three guys with three things, and Mike, you're up.
Well, Larry, hot one out there today. Tip of the hat to Dontavian Wicks, the second-year wide receiver, for the way practice ended. Second to last team drill, he's running a deep seam route. Jordan Love throws a pretty looking pass, and it's just off his fingertips. He can't quite bring it in as he juggles. He falls to the ground, upset with himself, a missed opportunity there. But then right after, he comes back in the 2-minute drill to end practice. And not a great throw by Jordan Love, frankly, a little bit of a wobbler. He was under pressure, threw it with anticipation, and as soon as Wicks came out of his break in the end zone, that ball was on him. And not exactly a spiral. He snagged it, got the touchdown, and then converted the 2-point on the next play to give the offense the victory. A nice bounce back by 13.
Wes?
Larry, 2 hours and 8 minutes out here today, and there's a lot of things you could have pointed to in these three things, but one thing I want to actually look at is just Xavier McKinney very quickly. I mean, this is a young man, still 24 years old, brought in here to be a leader, a team captain, but it's been interesting and fun watching him actually operate this secondary. Today also got involved with an interception, sitting down across the middle. Jordan Love doesn't see him, picks it off. Those are the type of plays they signed him for, but also just seeing how he commands the whole operation, it's been a real treat.
Guys, you remember in the offseason, everybody was talking about the Packers going to have a serious competition at left tackle.
Yes, sir.
You remember that?
I do.
And since snap one, this training camp, and what are we in, the 8th practice?
8th practice.
Since snap one, it's been Rasheed Walker. And I'll tell you why. Today in one-on-ones against defense, Rasheed and Preston Smith, very first snap. And Rasheed, I mean, his set was fine, his hands were great, his feet were perfect. I mean, he just stoned Preston, who's a good rusher. And yet, look at a situation like the Packers have, finding a left tackle in the 7th round. And Rasheed, he's always had tools, but now he's becoming more detailed, going to be a fine player for the Green Bay Packers. And that's three guys with three things. See you next time.
Danger, they both crash.